Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to another Friday. I hope you all had a great week. And I'm going to start us off today with our Curious George book that was voted on. Curious George and the Puppies. Okay, this is George. Do you remember George? George was a good little monkey and always very what? Curious. One day George went for a walk with his friend, the man in the yellow hat. When they sat down to rest, they noticed a tiny kitten peeking out from under a bush. The kitten looked frightened. "Perhaps she's lost," said the man with the yellow hat. Together, he and George searched the park for the little kitten's owner, but the kitten was all alone. "This kitten is too young to be on her own," the man said. "We should take her to the animal shelter where they can care for her and find her a home." So George and the kitten and the man with the yellow hat drove to the animal shelter. Take the kitty in to the shelter and see if they can take care of her. The director of the shelter was glad to see them. "It was good of you to bring the kitten here," she said. "We will be happy to take care of her." George gave the kitten to the director, then he and the man with the yellow hat walked inside. "Come in," the director said, "but watch where you step. We have a large litter of puppies and one has gotten out of his cage. We're still looking for him, so please be careful." She closed the door quickly behind them. Sounds like maybe one of the puppies is curious, just like our monkey friend George. George had never been to an animal shelter before. Animals of all kinds were being cared for here. George saw bunnies, cats, turtles, and guinea pigs. He even saw a snake. But he didn't see any puppies. Can you see all those things that George was looking for? Do you see the snake? How about the bunnies? Do you see the bunnies and the turtle? Did you find them? "George, I need to sign some papers," said the man with the yellow hat. "Please stay here," he says, "and don't be too curious." Just as the man with the yellow hat left the room, George heard barking. Maybe it was the puppies. But where was it coming from? George was curious. Uh-oh. He followed the barking noises. The man says, "I'm gonna be back, but don't be too curious." George just can't help it, can he? He has to see where that barking is coming from. And found a room full of dogs. There were yellow dogs, spotted dogs, sleek dogs, and fluffy dogs. There were quiet dogs and yappy dogs, and even a dog without a tail. But where were the puppies? Then George saw a little tail wagging, then another, and another. Look, there's George looking in the room of the dogs. And I think he's slowly finding the puppies. Once George saw the puppies, he could not take his eyes off of them. He had to pet one. Here was a puppy. The puppy liked George. George wanted to hold the puppy. Slowly, he opened the door. Uh-oh, what do you think is going to happen? He's opening the door. But before George could even reach the puppy, the mother dog pushed the door open and was off like a shot. George tried to close the door after her, but the puppies were too fast. There was nothing George could do. Oh no, look at that. They're all getting out. Way to go, George, huh? Puppies were everywhere. Puppies hid under the desk. Puppies barked at bunnies. One puppy played with a telephone cord and another climbed on top of a cage to watch the others get into mischief. Soon all the dogs were barking, the cats were meowing, and the bunnies rustled into the corner of their cage. Those poor bunnies, I think they're a little scared of the dogs and the puppies, huh? Those puppies are just causing all sorts of mayhem. "Oh no!" cried the director as she and the man with the yellow hat rushed into the room. "Now all the puppies are out." The man with the yellow hat helped the director gather up the puppies and put them safely back in their cage. Soon all the animals settled down and were quiet. They got them all put away. Everybody's back to where they should be, except for one, who was still barking. It was the mother dog. What was she barking at? There was nothing there but a door. There must be something on the other side, thought George. What did George do? Because he's always curious. He opened the door. See the mother dog barking at the door, and then George opens it. What do you think was in there? What was in that door? What was behind it? It was the missing puppy. Everyone was happy to finally find the puppy. The director scooped him up and said, "George, you certainly caused a ruckus, but if you hadn't let the puppies out, we might still be searching for this little one." Then she gave the puppies and their mother a snack. "These puppies are now big enough to go live with families who will take care of them," she said. "Do you want to take one home with you, George?" Look, this one, they found the puppy, and then she's giving them some treats. Do you think George and the man with the yellow hat will take a puppy home? George did. He got to take one puppy home with him. The end.